And welcome to coverage of Grand Prix San Antonio. The feature match area has the trophy on it, and we just wanted to show you that this is the finals. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe. I am joined in the booth by Jacob Van Lunen, and we are seeing Matt Pratser on the left-hand side of your screen with black-red aggro, and he is in the mirror match versus Tyler. Now, Tyler has had, and he's ran the field here, really. He's only got one loss on the weekend.
Yeah, this finals is one heck of a Havoc festival. It's a Rakdos mirror. And we can't say we didn't see this coming. Before the tournament even started, before coverage even began, before we covered our first match, Marshall and I were talking about Rakdos' dominant presence on Magic Online in the days leading up to this event. The most recent premier event before this event was, I think it had 5 Rakdos decks in the top 8. Just brutal.
Yeah. All right, so here we are. Tyler's going to lead off with a Gravecrawler. It's going to get off to a relatively quick start. Matt has a Gravecrawler of his own, so no blocking happening here. It's going to be straight beats. Now, we do see that Tyler does not have the turn 2 Knight of Infamy. Instead, he just has another Gravecrawler, so not the ideal opener, but still solid. He's got 4 power-up, and it looks like Matt is going to follow up with a Rakdos Guildgate and a Diregraph Ghoul. All right, so Tyler is going to battle in there for 4. He's going to drop Matt down to 14, and he just passes the turn. So he has missed a land drop, and he is missing red mana currently in this game. So even though he's ahead on the damage race, it's going to get evened up right here, potentially. Nope. Matt is going to slow down a little bit here.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I don't know.
And he's just going to pass the turn back. It looks like he has intentions to block.
Yeah, that.
And right on, well, maybe not right on time, but looks like Tyler has found a Dragon Skull Summit, and he is just going to Searing Spear the, I guess, would-be blocker.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would block a Gravecrawler, though, because he can just get it right back anyway, so you just throw away a card for a couple of damage. But it looks like it's worked out well for Tyler as he has hit red mana and a land drop, and he's Searing Speared away the Diregraph Ghoul and got in there for 4. He's going to drop Matt down to 10. Tyler's going to fall down to 14 here after attack for 2, and Matt just has to pass the turn back. No play on turn 4 with all of his colors available, and Tyler hits another land drop. Yep, and he has a Falconwrath Aristocrat, and he is going to attack in here for 8 to drop Matt down to 2 if he doesn't have anything. But this is still going to be 4, 5, 6 damage, and as Matt sacrifices a Gravecrawler to his Falconwrath Aristocrat, and Matt Pratser just goes right into the scoop phase, and game 1 is over just like that. You know, we knew this was going to be a slugfest, but geez.
Yeah, that was a very fast game. Seemed to go how we predicted it would. Now, Matthew Pratser going to get a chance to be on the play, so we're going to have to see. He's going to need to break serve at some point here. Matthew Pratser. That was an interesting choice of him to not attack there with a Diregraph Ghoul.
I mean, he must have just had nothing in his hand, and he just felt like, look, I'm not going to be able to win a race. I have nothing going on here. I'm just going to start trying to save damage. It just doesn't.
There's very little value in blocking it for so many reasons. Like, one, if he draws a red source and just has a removal spell, then you just missed 2 points. Another reason is that, they're Gravecrawlers. They're just free cards that come back.
Well, now he did have the Searing Spear in hand, so his plan could have been,
his plan was to
end of combat step.
Yeah, to kill both and then have them both off the board.
Yeah.
And I understand
it's a risky play.
I mean, you just always need to be attacking in this match. I mean, maybe that was his plan because he drew a few lands, but I think the correct play there would have been for him to turn both of his creatures sideways and knock the top of his deck, hoping to hit some Aristocrats or Hellkites.
Okay.
I mean, he was hitting land drops and his opponent wasn't at that point.
All right, let's take a look at the top 8 real quick. We have the path to the finals here. Tyler got by Matt Thurber in the mirror match, so he's shown that he can win that. He also showed us on camera that he could versus his best friend. That moved him into the semis. He played against accomplished player and back-to-back GP top 8er here, Reed Duke, and he just ran him over. Poor Reed could not get anything going with his back control-less. It's admittedly a bit of a slow starter sometimes, and it was in this case, and Tyler just got off to a quick start and beat him. That put him into the finals. On the other side of the bracket, Matt, he beat Ben Rasmussen, who was on Green-White Humans, a very aggressive deck in its own right, and he was able to get by probably on the back of a bunch of removal spells. That put him in.
Net of Infamy, also very strong against the human version of the white aggro deck. Most of their creatures are white, and the fact that Matthew Pratser is playing 4 protection from white creatures alongside, 8 hasty flyers that have really big numbers on the front of them, that's going to cause problems for Ben Rasmussen, and he was able to move past that.
Absolutely. That put him into the semifinals, and he ran right up against Conley Woods, and we saw him. We just caught the end of him beating Conley with a Hell Rider in game 1. We didn't really see how that game exactly developed. It was in our secondary feature match. We did get to watch the next game. Conley stumbled on mana, and it cost him dearly, and Matt was able to just run him over with a couple of Falconwrath aristocrats and put him right into the finals here, where he is now facing down Tyler, down a game in the mirror match. And Tyler, he's proven over and over this weekend, at least a few times now, that he knows this mirror very well. So players are getting shuffled up post-board. Interestingly, we've got a little ad for you here. So more Grand Prix on the way. Upcoming webcasts. So these are the ones that you're going to be able to watch on this very channel that you're on right now. Grand Prix Lisbon, that is going to be next weekend, December 1st and 2nd. And we have Matej Zadelkai. And he's going to be joined by Zeman Gortzen in the booth. So don't miss that one. 2 awesome commentators, and it's going to be great action over there. And a weekend after that is Grand Prix Toronto. That's going to be modern. Should be a sweet one as well. December
interesting fun fact. Zeman Gortzen won a Pro Tour in San Diego.
He did indeed.
Yeah.
With John.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny, Pro Tour San Diego champions commentating. Never mind.
You missed me. All right, so we've got game 2 incoming here. And, we took a look at the sideboard plan from each, and they're really pretty similar. And, you mentioned it just a few minutes ago, Jake. There's really not a big breaker in the sideboard.
Yeah, there isn't really a mirror breaker. Both of these players are going to bring in Vampire Nighthawks. Tyler has 1 more Vampire Nighthawk than Matthew Pratser, but the difference between 3 and 4 isn't really that huge. It obviously makes a difference, but
even then, I've seen this deck just run right through a Vampire Nighthawk and not really be that worried.
Yeah, just a Searing Spear can kill the Vampire Nighthawk for 2 mana when people spent 3 mana at sorcery speed to play it. So, it's not backbreaking, but it's good.
It doesn't play certainly particularly well versus Falconwrath Aristocrat either. All right, so Rakdos Guildgate is going to lead things off for Matt Pratser. And Tyler starts off with a Diregraph Ghoul and just ships the turn back. This could be for the entire tournament here, as Tyler looks very ready to go. And right away, Searing Spear is going to hit that Diregraph Ghoul. Guildgate for Tyler, and he's going to follow up with another one. So Diregraph Ghoul number 2 for him represents some pressure. We see 2 more Searing Spears for Pratser, but he's got the big boy.
Dross Messenger, and that's one of the best cards in this mirror.
It really is. It's going to drop Tyler down to 18, and it's going to start hitting really, really hard shortly after that, except for that Tyler has the Pillar of Flame, which is a huge, huge card here as it limits.
Perfect card to deal with Messenger.
It's really the perfect card to deal with it. And he doesn't have another land drop, although this deck can survive on relatively low lands, but not for very long. It has a lot of 4s and 5s that are pretty important here. We see a Vampire Nighthawk in hand for Matt Pratser and 2 Diregraph Ghouls.
Kind of an interesting choice for Matthew Pratser to play that Cavern of Souls, because he doesn't know yet whether or not he's going to draw a Devil or a Dragon or something that he's going to need that 2nd red source for. And he doesn't have another source of red to cast the Searing Spear anyway.
But he just didn't want to miss a land drop since he doesn't have any more lands in hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's an interesting choice.
You do what you got to do. What did he name? I didn't see it. I was talking to Jake. Okay, so he did name Devil. He's prepping for a potential Hell Rider here. And the Searing Spear, like you mentioned before, is just going to take out the Nighthawk, and Tyler is going to get in for 4 damage, drop Matt down to 14. Untap into another Geralf's Messenger. He can only play that or a Searing Spear this turn, but he's just going to go for the Geralf's Messenger. Take 2,
he has to
put you
tap
down to
Skillgate,
16. There you go. leaving him with just colorless mana. He's got 3 Searing Spears in hand. That represents a total of 9 damage, but right now he can only cast 1 per turn, and he's going to be dropping down to 10 here from these 2 Diregraph Ghouls, just eating away at his life total, even though... Wow, and 2 Grave Crawlers now puts 2, 4, 6, 8 power on the board for Tyler, even though he's stuck on 2 mana.
And that's what this deck does. I mean, that's one of the reasons why this deck is so good, is you're playing 8 2-power 1-drops. You can have draws like this.
All right, so Searing Spear is going to take out, a Pillar Flame is going to take out a Grave Crawler. He's going to follow up with a Guild Gate, and he's just going to pass the turn back. He's looking to trade off for one of the Diregraph Ghouls here. Matt does not have access to red mana. He's got 2 Searing Spears in hand, so he had a Pillar and 2 Searing Spears. I thought he had 3 Searing Spears. I was wrong about that. And it looks like Tyler is deciding if he wants to send in with the team here. He could get in for 4 damage. He does indeed. That's going to drop Matt all the way down to 6. He says, yep, it happens. Tyler is going to drop to 14 off of the Geralf's Messenger trigger. And one of the Diregraph Ghouls is down. And there's another one, the 4th one of the game here for Tyler. He just doesn't seem to need more than 2 mana this game. But right now, Matthew just draws a card for the turn. It happens to be another Cavernous Soul, so he will be able to cast whatever he wants if he draws it. But he's just sitting on 2 Searing Spear right now. Looks like he's just going to play a land, maybe name Dragon or whatever. And ship the turn back. Now, Matt, as the board sits, will have stabilized, especially if Tyler misses another land drop here, as he has a profitable block with the Geralf's Messenger currently, and he can Searing Spear both of the other creatures if he wants.
Yeah, that's going to put him in a decent spot.
He's going to take out the Grave Crawler, and then he's going to use both Searing Spears to take out both Diregraph Ghouls, and it looks like this board will be stable.
So Matthew Pratser.
So does Tyler have a play, or did he pass the turn back? I can't. He has a Pillar of Flame. He's going to use it to finish off, and the board is at parity right now. Though Tyler has more cards in hand, and he's just going to run out the card he drew, Zealous Conscripts, and just bash for 3 and start putting the pressure on. All right, a basic mountain for Tyler. This means that he can't play Geralf's Messenger.
Yeah, not that. I mean, the deck only plays 1 basic mountain. That's the only.
That was the one.
It's the only land that doesn't produce black mana. So, a little odd to draw that one, but means he's 1 land closer to casting the Aristocrats in his hand, or whatever's in his hand, the Hell Riders, the cards that are going to kill his opponent very fast.
Right. we see that Matt's seating at 6 now. Tyler's at 11.
But I mean, so Matthew could just draw like a dragon here and then be
in the driver's seat in a big way. Yeah, for sure. So it looks like Tyler's still deep in the tank here. Searing Spear would be fine to take out that Conscripts.
Yeah, but I mean, there are a few different options here. Like
he is going to play Bonfire the Damned
for 1.
For 1, and that's going to put Matt at 5 and give him the opportunity to draw. I don't know.
He may have. Let's say he has a Searing Spear in his hand.
Okay.
Or a Pillar, then it can make the other one into an out.
Yep, that makes sense. He says Pillar of Flame, target you. Does he? He doesn't have it. He's got him down to 3 here, though. And he has and Matt has his own Searing Spear combined with the damage that turn.
So yeah, that's what it
was. From the Zealous Conscripts. And that's going to even it up here. So we're going to get a game 3 here in the finals of GP San Antonio.
A much closer game there. Tyler really choked on lands there.
He still put up quite a fight.
Yeah, Matthew, again, somewhat interesting turn of events there. Nice bonfire there from Tyler. He had the Pillar of Flame in hand, had 2 sources of red and 3 lands, so he knew that if he was able to top deck a Searing Spear the next turn, that would give him an out to just win the game outright, and if he were able to top deck a land, he could start chaining the Falkenrath Aristocrats.
Right.
Very nice play by Tyler, though, playing to his outs.
Yep, I like it. He also, it looked like it was the only way he could really use up all of his mana that turn.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's going to be really important in this match is your ability to use your mana as efficiently as possible. And I know that goes without saying, but oftentimes, you see something that costs 2 mana and something that costs 3 mana. The thing that costs 2 mana is slightly better to affect the board. A lot of the time you'd rather play the thing that costs 3 mana just so you're using your mana most efficiently, because then on turn 4 maybe you can play 2 different things that cost 2 mana, or on turn 5 you can play something that costs 3 and something that costs 2.
Yeah, sequencing out your plays is going to be very critical here. All right, so we're going to get a game 3 here. This is for the trophy here in San Antonio. The red-black mirror match here in the top 8. Both of these players are going to get their invite to the next Pro Tour. But that trophy is sitting right next to them. It's just off camera. And I know it's glimmering and distracting for them, and they both would like to walk out of here with that thing in their hand.
Trophies are the best. Nothing better than a nice trophy.
All right, so Tyler, again, we talked about it before the match. He earned the right to be on the play for the duration of the top 8. He was on the play in game 1, and he was able to win. He was not on the play game 2. He got a little bit stuck on mana, and he was not able to win. And now he does get to be on the play for this critical game 3, the very last game that will be played here at Grand Prix San Antonio. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Jacob Van Lunen, and we are just prepping for this last game as the players sufficiently randomize their deck.
And this one game will decide who our Grand Prix champion is. This is it.
It's exciting stuff, and these guys both play pretty quickly, and the damage comes in very big chunks and very quickly as well. So
this game could very easily end in under 3 minutes.
Yeah, put on your seatbelt. This is going to be it for the championship here in San Antonio, and damage flying. No Sphinx's Revelations or Thrag Tusks in sight. These aggressive
and it's a
decks.
race, not a marathon.
It's a sprint.
Yes.
All right, so let's see if the players are able to keep their openers here. That is, of course, going to be critical as well.
Reasonable hand for Tyler. Unfortunately, it's a 4-lander. Not the best thing in the world.
But not mulliganable?
But not really mulliganable. I mean, he has... I think he's operating on 3 different turns of the curve with his 3 spells. I think he has a 1-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. So it's going to be really difficult to mulligan that. Getting a better 6 would be really difficult.
Okay, looks like
especially with 4 lands, then you're going to hit the land drops to.
And his deck does have a tons of 3s, 4s, and 5s that he really, really, really wants to cast in the mirror here. So, all right, so it looks like Tyler's still tanking it out, trying to decide if this is a hand that he can keep. He does keep it, and both players have kept. Blood Crypt leads things off for Tyler. Matt. Looks like he's going to have a Diregraph Ghoul. 2 mana for Tyler. What does he have? He has nothing.
Apparently he did not have a 1-drop.
All right, so just nothing.
Maybe
there.
it was a 5-lander, which would be significantly worse.
Which he did take a long time trying to decide. And Matt is going to battle in there for 2. And he's just going to play a Rakdos Guildgate. Now, is this a Messenger? It is. So turn 3 Messenger right on time. And that's going to move things in a direction for Tyler that are going to be quite advantageous for him. All right, so attack for 2. It's going to drop Tyler down
to 16, I believe.
And what's his follow-up play? A Vampire Nighthawk. Not unreasonable, but again, we said it wasn't the card that breaks the mirror wide open. It's just a nice value card. I mean, what does it do here? Well, it trades for one half of the Messenger and the damage that you get from 1/2 of the Messenger. It's not amazing. He can use it to attack, though.
I mean,
not block.
Wouldn't block. Yeah,
just not block.
On offense, it's awesome. It's a 4-point life swing every time he gets in there.
Yep, so that's really good.
And more importantly, the 4-point life swing, the life gain is actually really relevant because it minimizes the effect of reach.
Absolutely.
So, remember, this is all just a math.
All right, so here's a 4-mana play. It is a Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, and sure enough, he just battles with both. Matt was prepared to kind of ignore the Geralf's Messenger, but it's going to be tough to ignore this damage chunk for too long. He's going to take 7 damage. It's going to put Matt down to 11, and he gets to untap here. He will get to crack back and gain 2 of it back. It looks like he has a Falcon Wrath Aristocrat of his own as well.
Yeah, not so bad for Matthew Pratser.
Matt employing the ultra rare lands on the side scheme here.
Ooh, very nice. Haven't seen that one in some time. I've seen the lands in front.
Occasionally.
One time at Patrick Chapin attempt to play with his lands on the other side of his deck and was drawing in the middle. That was interesting.
All right, so it looks like he's just going to lead off with an attack here. So it's 4 damage plus a 2 damage life gain for him. And he's going to play his Falconwrath Aristocrat post.
Man, Matthew really wants to block in this
main
matchup.
phase. He does seem to want to block. He
Why
doesn't
is he
really
so
have a
bad?
creature that he can. He doesn't really have a creature that he can sack amazingly here either. I mean, he can get rid of the Diregraph Ghoul, but that's not coming back. Where Tyler does have a creature he doesn't mind sacrificing at all with the Giraffe's Messenger.
Yeah, it'll save him some life if Tyler does attack with the Giraffe's Messenger, though. I mean, Matthew's tapped out, so Tyler can come up with the perfect play here.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting that Matt didn't just go. I mean, he could have his opponent at 8 here. With him sitting at 13, he could be facing down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
You could have
9,
Tyler
10,
at 8 with an Aristocrat.
So,
Nighthawk,
you know,
and a
one thing
Diregraph
about
Ghoul
Matt
on
is
the
he
table.
could be thinking about Thundermaw Hellkite, right? If Matt goes land Hellkite, then he actually does swing in for lethal, right? 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, it's only 12.
Yeah, it's 1 short.
Yeah, so it's 1 short, so that certainly is relevant here.
But the fact that it's 1 short means it's not good enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it is. And that would take
Yeah.
all of the mana that Tyler had, and it would also require him to have a land drop. So,
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Matthew could kill him on the swing back, too. I
Yeah.
mean, with what he has in play, and
He's got
I'm
a couple
sure
of
he's
cards
got
in hand at
something
least.
in hand. I mean, even if
Yeah.
he just has like a random mediocre burn spell, it's going to be good enough.
He's decided, though, to take a more cautious route here and leave his Falconwrath Aristocrat back on defense. And Tyler is deciding how he wants to proceed here. He does look like he has a land drop here. It's a Blood Crypt untapped. So he's going to play 2 spells. He's just going to play a Messenger and ship the turn back? No. He said do damage to you. Sorry, I when he pointed at him, I thought he was shipping it. So he's going to attack with both. So there must be a block here. Because right now, Tyler has lethal. He's going to hit for 7 and then sack both messengers for 4 more, which is 11. So there must be a block.
And also, I mean, there has to be a block because he didn't attack with his
Yeah.
Aristocrat. You can't not attack with your Aristocrat and then not block with it.
That's also very true.
Like,
In third place, Thiago Saputo.
I mean, yeah.
In fourth place, Derek Smith. In fifth place, Jose Pineda. In sixth place,
I'm being told on Twitter that that Hellrider would have also been lethal there. Would have been lethal there, as opposed to the Hellkite.
Yeah.
in eighth place,
Well, Hellriders.
16 points, Leonardo Ruiz.
He was at 13.
If you are in the top 8,
Oh, you sacked the messenger and it is lethal with Hellkite, right?
otherwise stand by for further
Yeah.
announcements.
Okay. Yeah, so both of those would have been lethal. He decided to play around either of those coming down. There is a block here on the Falconwrath Aristocrat, which is an interesting block because Tyler doesn't mind sacking. Ooh. So Tyler had a plan here. When Matt sacked his Diregraph Ghoul with the ability on the stack, Tyler has now Searing Speared the Falconwrath Aristocrat for Matt, forcing him into a tough decision about if he wants to keep that Aristocrat, he's going to have to sacrifice his Vampire Nighthawk. He's doing some math here.
Yeah, nice play by Tyler.
Yeah.
Set it up perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Aristocrat Messenger would have been enough damage with the
Yeah,
the
so
Dragon or another Aristocrat
Yeah,
or
so-
the Hellrider.
yeah, so it definitely seems like he was correct to leave back a blocker here in the sense that, I mean, can you really rely on Tyler having just none of those? Is that the plan? I mean, maybe that's just the play anyway, and you just hope he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean the big problem is that if you don't trust that, then you just can't win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so he was really playing around the second messenger and a Hellrider because the Hellkite will tap down the
Yeah, the Hellkite just taps it down anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah. Seems like a really tough spot. Certainly don't envy the position of being able to figure that one out under the cameras here. All right, looks like there's a judge being involved here. They're talking about the messengers. I'm not sure why.
I mean, it seems pretty straightforward what's going on right now.
Yeah. There might be some stat questions.
Okay.
And sure enough, Falconwrath Aristocrat does fall. And to the Searing Spear, and it leaves Tyler with 2 Drolf's Messengers and the Falconwrath Aristocrat. Now it's going to be a bonfire here. But this is actually a pretty bad spot for him, right? It's going to be a bonfire for 2. So what he's going to do is Tyler is going to sacrifice at least one of the messengers here to make sure that his Falconwrath Aristocrat lives. So he sacrifices one. He sacrifices another. They both come back. They're both going to take 2 damage, but they're also going to be 4/3, so they will survive the 2 damage, and it looks like Matt is tapped out after that as well. That's going to be 4 more damage to Matt. He's going to fall down to 4, and is he just dead here?
Yeah, he's just dead.
He says go, but Tyler very quickly untaps, and it looks like he's also drawn a Hell Rider, and Matt Pratser extends the hand, and we see Tyler Lytle take it down. So it seems like it really was his weekend. He only lost 1 match on the whole weekend. He seemed to have a pretty good mastery of the mirror here. We saw him beat his best friend Will on camera, and now he's also defeated Matt Pratser in the finals, also in the mirror. So congratulations to our champion.
Yeah, Tyler Lytle.